Imagine if one of today's pop music stars or a high-profile billionaire went missing and all efforts to find the person failed. That was the magnitude of Amelia Earhart's disappearance in 1937. Her loss shocked the world and has led to more than 8 decades of searching. We will not cover her life and accomplishments here since there are already many books and documentaries available on that subject. Instead, we will examine the possible discovery of her aircraft. As with any disappearance, many scenarios and conspiracy theories have been proposed. Some of these seem plausible, while others have Earhart flying to a deserted island or being captured by the Japanese. There is even one theory that Earhart faked her own disappearance in order to start her life over. Locating her aircraft would finally put all of these stories to rest. At the time of her disappearance, Amelia Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan were nearing the end of an around-the-world flight. Their aircraft was the Lockheed Electra, which was new and state-of-the-art for the time. The planned route across the Pacific Ocean included flying from New Guinea to Howland Island. They would refuel at Howland Island, then fly on to Hawaii, and finally back to their departure point of Oakland, California. Howland Island is so small and remote that the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca was stationed nearby to help guide Earhart and Noonan to a safe landing. It is believed that a number of technical issues with the radio navigation equipment on board the aircraft and the ship combined with scattered cloud cover to make finding the tiny island extremely difficult. The aircraft then ran out of fuel somewhere near Howland Island, at which point Earhart would have attempted to land the plane on the water. This series of events is called the crash and sink theory and is considered to be the most likely scenario. It is this theory that was the basis for the latest search. Tony Romeo is a successful businessman from New Jersey who has a lifelong interest in the Earhart mystery. With his earnings, Romeo founded the company Deep Sea Vision, which carried out the most recent search for the missing Electra. Using a Hugin 6000 autonomous underwater vehicle, the search team was able to scan an astounding 5,200 square miles of seafloor near Howland Island, an area equivalent to the U.S. state of Connecticut. This sonar image was found while reviewing the data collected during the search. The image was actually discovered 3 months after being taken, and by this time the search ship was at the end of its endurance. Therefore, a close-up examination with a remotely operated vehicle was not possible at the time. Tony Romeo is hoping to return to the Sonar Contact within a year to conduct such an examination. In the meantime, what evidence is there to support the theory that this is Amelia Earhart's aircraft? First, the object appears to be an aircraft of the same size and shape as Amelia Earhart's Electra. The only major discrepancy is the swept-back wings seen in the sonar image. However, during a TV interview, Tony Romeo said he believes the wings only appear to be swept because of distortion present in the sonar image. During the same interview, expert deep-sea searcher and salvager Mark Martin said that the Sonar Contact is definitely man-made and there is a high probability that it is an aircraft. Second, and perhaps most exciting, is the presence of what appears to be a twin tail similar to the one on Earhart's Electra. While not unique to the Electra, the twin tail is a relatively uncommon configuration. Third, the location of the Sonar Contact is also very intriguing. While the exact position is a closely guarded secret, Tony Romeo has confirmed it is within 100 miles of Howland Island, which would be expected for Earhart's aircraft. Radio operators on board the Itasca reported Earhart's last transmissions as having the strongest signal strength possible, indicating that she was in the immediate area. Fourth, the sonar image shows what appears to be an intact aircraft. If so, this indicates that it was carefully landed on the water. This is exactly what Earhart would have done when the aircraft ran out of fuel. In summary, we have what is likely the wreckage of an aircraft matching the size and shape of the one flown by Amelia Earhart. The aircraft has the same distinctive twin-tail configuration as the Electra. It is relatively close to Howland Island and appears to have been landed on the water in one piece. All things we would expect to see if her aircraft had been found. Taken together, these facts are not conclusive proof that Amelia Earhart's plane has finally been found. However, the sonar image is easily the most promising lead in the past 87 years. If the aircraft turns out to be Amelia Earhart's Electra, then what might we learn from it? First, the discovery would prove the crash and sink theory. That is, Earhart and Noonan ran out of fuel before being able to find Howland Island and made an emergency landing on the water somewhere nearby. All of the other scenarios and conspiracy theories would finally be put to rest. The lost aviators were never stranded on an island or kidnapped by the Japanese, and they certainly never staged their own disappearance. It may also be possible to determine what happened to Earhart and Noonan themselves. Did they survive and exit the plane, or were they killed by an unexpectedly hard water landing? If the Electra has a door or hatch open, it would imply that they survived and exited the plane. Investigators would also look for the presence of a life raft or any other flotation devices. It seems highly unlikely that any such items would be left in the aircraft if it were abandoned after landing on the water. A close examination of the cockpit may yield further clues. A body is very unlikely to survive 87 years on the seafloor. However, items made of leather can last for more than a century. If the aviators died on impact, then their belts, shoes, and possibly leather jackets would mark where the bodies once were. In this case, the shoes would likely remain near the rudder pedals, with belts and jackets being in or near the seats. Any seatbelt and harness fixtures that are still latched would also provide a strong indication that bodies had been present. If all goes according to plan, we should know if this is the wreck of Amelia Earhart's plane within the next year. Tony Romeo is hoping to return to the Sonar Contact in late 2024 or early 2025. He plans to use a remotely operated vehicle to closely examine the aircraft wreck. A close-up examination will almost certainly yield a definitive answer. If the Sonar Contact is Amelia Earhart's Electra, Tony Romeo would like to eventually raise the aircraft so that it can be preserved and put on display in the Smithsonian. Should the contact turn out to be something else, he plans to continue searching until Earhart's plane is finally found. No matter what this Sonar Contact turns out to be, we can look forward to more exciting discoveries in the coming years.